1 in 20 people you walk down the streets you meet are already millionaires. So why is it so easy for Singaporeans to become millionaires? This is what we're going to look at today. How you can become a millionaire in Singapore easily without even saving half your income. So why do I say half the income? Because if you look at your median salary in Singapore, that's $5,500 in 2024. Multiply that by 12, the annual income is $66,000. If your income level doesn't rise at all for the next 30 years, you would have $1.98 million flowing through your hands. Now, you need to save 50% of that income to get to $1 million. That is not realistic. That's why today I'm going to share with you how you can get to that $1 million mark by just saving 10% of your income if you do it the smart way. So 10% of your monthly income, that is $550. Let's work with that. If you saved $550 per month for the next 30 years at a 10% annual return, this is what you're going to get. You would have saved $198,000 and in return have gotten $1.2 million. Now, your initial investment that you worked hard for, that's $198,000, but your money worked harder than you and it brought back $1 million. That's why it's easy when you let your money work for you. So in this video, I'll show you how you can realistically hit that $1 million mark without skipping vacations, without sacrificing your lifestyle, and without gambling in crypto or meme stocks. So you might be wondering, Dave, how the hell am I going to get 10% returns? Sounds too good to be true, right? And I'll show you how it can be done by anyone. You don't need to read the news every day. You don't need to pick the winning stocks. You don't need to time the market. You don't need to understand complex charts. You don't need to be a finance expert. You don't even need a financial advisor like me. You just need to follow one simple rule. Invest in an index fund and stay consistent. And let me show you how it works. But before that, we need to understand what is an index fund. Let's start from the ground up. An index is something that tracks the economy. S&P 500 is an index that tracks the United States. It tracks the top 500 companies in the United States, the biggest ones. And Nifty 50, because for my Indian audience, it's the top 50 Indian companies in India. Let's break it down a little bit more. So this Nifty 50 in India, it was producing an annualized return of 10%, over 10% for the last 10 years. S&P 500, this index that tracks the top 500 companies in US, had been getting over 10% for the past 30 years annualized. So if you had started this investing process 30 years ago, this would have been the case. Of course, past returns doesn't guarantee future returns. But let's study this so we don't lose out on this again. It's very important for you to understand that we're not betting on a single company. We're betting on the long-term progress of human society. But there will be downturns. Let me show you what that means. On a single year, the market, when you invest $100,000 in, you can get 40% returns, 41% returns. So that means you're getting $141,000 back. You put in $100,000, you're cutting back $141,000. But that also means in a single year, worst case scenario, you can lose 40%. That's a loss of $40,000 of your hard-earned money if you don't do it properly. But the interesting thing is, if you give it time, let's look at 15 years. In a span of 1970 to 2015, if you just stay invested for any 15-year period, the worst 15-year period possible, you would still make a profit of 3.12% compounded annually. And the best case scenario, you're making 17% annually, annualized, compounded. So that's way more than 10%. The idea is, imagine if you take a snapshot of 2 time period, 15 years apart. If nothing changes, if human society hasn't progressed, all the technology is the same 15 years ago and now, you'd still make money just because of inflation. Because inflation has been 3%. That's how I understand it. But there's another way to look at it as well. If you look at the S&P 500 from 1928 to 2024, if you pick a random year, there's a 38% chance that you're going to get more than 20% return on that single year. So you put in $100,000, you get $120,000 and more. And 35% chance that you have a positive return, but not as massively. It will be less than 20%. But at the same time, if you had invested in the wrong years, there's a 6% chance out of that years, there's a 6% chance that you lose more than 20% of your money. And there's a 21% chance that you have a negative year, but not as tragic. But if you look at the overall picture, 73% of the years, you're getting positive returns, and 27% of the years, you're getting negative returns. The reason why you see in the long run, you get more and more positive returns in the market is because the positives of the market cancels out any of the negative downturns you have. So timing the market is not good. Time in the market is very important. Now, before we go into how to handle this volatility safely without getting a heart attack every single time, remember this wise man's quote. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. Remember that. So, how do we be patient and know that we are winning? There's the idea called dollar cost averaging. Now, the first time I explained it to a physicist and a mathematician, they're my friends, and I really did it so bad that even they couldn't understand. So I worked hard at it to understand how to explain it simply, and I finally figured it out. But let me show you how it works, and then I'll share with you why it works. So imagine you had a $8,000 amount. You have two choices. First choice, you invest the $8,000, then go for a roller coaster ride. $10 goes to $14, then goes to $9. This is the market moving up and down, gives you a really strong heart attack, and then returns back at $10. All this heart attack late after that, your $8,000 remains $8,000 at the end of it. Now there's another way of doing it, the smarter way of doing it. If you split the $8,000 into 8 equal investments, like $1,000 every single month, you invest. Doesn't matter the market goes up or down. You invest $1,000. You will actually get a 4% return. Why? Let me show you. Now, it's easier to explain this using apples. Yes, the apples that we eat. If you're going to buy apples every single month for the next 8 months, instead of the market price, you think of it as it's the price of the apple. $10, $14, $9. I'm just reflecting the same price. $10, $14, $9 every single month for the next 8 months. Every month, we're buying $1,000 worth of apples. So you have $1,000, you just give to the apple vendor, hey, give me $1,000 worth of apple for every single month. So the first month, you have $1,000. Each apple is $10, so you get 100 apples back. Now for second month, the apple prices have shot up to $14. Doesn't matter. You put $1,000 in, you buy the apple. You get lesser apples now because the apples are more expensive, but you keep it. You hold the apples now. You do that every single month. When the price drops, you buy more because just $1,000 will buy for you more apples now. You consistently put this $1,000 and you have all these apples. Now you have spent $8,000. Remember that. Now let's add up all these apples. If you want, you can pause and add up, but I've done it for you. It's about 832.59 apples. Now what we're going to do, this is an interesting thing. We're going to sell all the apple at month 8. Because we bought all these apples, final month we're going to sell it. So when we sell it, this apple, multiply that by 10. What are we going to get? More than $8,325. Now that is exciting. Because you made a profit of $325 because you spent $8,000 and you made $325 of profit in just 8 months, even though the market goes up and down. It's because when the price is low, you buy more apples like in month 5 and 7. When the price is low, you buy more apples. But when the price is high, 2 and 4, you buy lesser apples. So essentially the apples that you're holding more cheap apples than expensive apples. So when you sell it for that price, you're making profits. Now this is the beauty of dollar cost averaging. You benefit from the market fluctuation. So when you do that $550 per month, you can be safe that when the market goes down, yes, we're buying more for cheaper. When the market goes up, yes, my investments are rising. So you were able to tahan the pain of up and down markets, and you're still able to make profits in a more safe manner when there's volatility. Stop guessing the market's next move. Stay consistent. Making $1 million in the next 30 years, that's easy game. What's more exciting and thrilling is helping you achieve financial independence in the next 20 years. And I made a video about it. Please go ahead and check it out if you like it. If you want to contact me, this is my number. Have a great day, guys.